Hi everyone, it's Nina. I'm back with my butterflies. I've separated them into 3 different groups. I've got the ones that I use the Pebios on here. Then I've got a little pile of the ones that I use the Stuart Gill metallic paints. And then I've got the pile that I use the Marabou porcelain ceramic paints as well. But for the moment, I'm going to work on the Pebeo butterflies. These have just turned out so gorgeous and the camera just doesn't do them any justice. It's really subtle, sort of the change in the colours. I mean, on this one here, you've got different shades of purple, blue, sort of like a pink, and it is just really, really pretty. And I just think it would be a shame to spoil this by going in with black and white Posca pens. I just think it would be too busy and too much. So I'm going to do a much more subtle form of doodling on mine. I've got my Pebios at the ready, and I've chosen sort of, I don't know whether they're the same colours that I used last week, but I've chosen ones that I think will work well for doodling on these. So I've given them a good stir. This time I've brought out the black, I think they call it onyx, yes, onyx. And I'm just going to doodle with these by sort of putting various dots and layering them and just seeing what I come up with. Then I've also got a set of Posca metallic pens. These I think came directly from Japan. And they were quite cheap as well. I think these were about £6 for the whole box. I think there's 8 of them in total. There's a pale pink somewhere as well. And I might sort of doodle on these sort of for the body. But that's what I'm going to be using. So I shall put it on fast forward now and we'll see where we end up. Okay, see you soon. So here they are. Here's all my Pebeo butterflies. They're not all perfect. You can see here, for instance, this one here, because it hasn't lay flat, the paint has sort of slipped away to the right hand side there, so the dots are slightly bigger, but it's mixed media, isn't it? But I'm so pleased with those. I just think that's absolutely gorgeous, really, really pretty. I hope you're picking up how lovely this is on camera, but I shall photograph them at the end and try and do a close-up and get as much detail in as I can. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with the centres of these, and I might use lots of gold, but we'll see what they look like when they're dry. So I'm going to grab, I don't know whether I'm going to do the Marabou ones next or the Stuart Gill, but I'll tidy all of this away and then I'll come back. Just very quickly, I've just grabbed out of my scrap bag a piece of music paper, because it's just such a shame to waste all of the ink that I'm tidying away. So I'm just going to clean all of these cocktail sticks off onto this piece of music paper and see what I end up with. I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Right, and there's my piece of paper. Isn't that pretty? In fact, I could do some drippage, but I don't know whether you can see, but because that's quite a thick layer, it's starting to do its honeycomb thing. It's just so pretty. So I think I'm just going to leave that to dry and set. Anyway, I'm going to go and clean my hands and then come back for round 2. Hi everyone. Right, here's my butterflies. They're dry enough now for me to work on. As I say, they're not completely perfect. I mean, that one there, the paint started to slip off to the right hand side, but I just love them. I think these are really, really pretty. I just love the effect of layering the Pebios on top of one another has created. So I think what I'm going to do, I've grabbed my black Posca pen and I think I'm just going to go with a thin outline around the edge, and I'll see what that looks like and then I'll come back. Hi everyone. Right, some of my butterflies are finished now. I've finished the first and second batch. So these are the butterflies that I created with the Prisma Pebeo Fantasy paints, and you saw me yesterday adding doodle dots, dropping the Pebeo paints out of the jar onto the butterflies and layering them, and you can see the pretty patterns that has made. It's sort of like a Marini effect, the Marini beads, merino beads. But really, really pretty. I'm ever so pleased with the way that they've turned out. I've videoed me putting some of the dots on that you saw, but I haven't videoed me doing any of the outline doodling, for the reason being that the video just would have gone on forever. So I'm just going to explain how I did that. You can see that some of them I've gone around the edges with black Posca paint pen. So that's that one there, the bullet pen that bullet tip pen that I used. So I've just sort of gone around the edges and drawn some shapes around the little Pebeo dots that I've drawn, and then I've gone in again adding more doodling using the white Posca paint pen, and this is the extra fine tip that I've used this time. And so I've done that with all of the ones that you can see in black. Sort of having black bodies as well, sort of various thicknesses of doodling around the edge. So that's those. And then these ones here with the purple outline, I used my Letraset Pro marker, which is an alcohol ink marker. And I've done exactly the same thing. I've just drawn a thick line. Oh, whoops-a-daisy. What's happened there? My pen's fallen apart. So I've just drawn a thick line around the edge. And then again, I've doodled inside the line with my white Posca paint pen. And that's all there is to it. It was just really, really time consuming, but that's just me. That's just because I'm just pernickety about things and I just never know when to stop. But I'm really pleased with those. And let me just turn off and I'll show you the next batch. Right, and here's the next batch. And these were the butterflies that I made using the Marabou Ceramica porcelain paint. And again, what I've done, the doodling, I don't know whether you can sort of see these, but there's, in fact, I'll put that one to one side because that was the one that I did with the Bindi paints. But you can see on here that I've added lots of dots, and again I've just added the dots using my stylus in the same way that I did with the doodle dots that I did on the previous ones with the Pebeo paint. And I've dipped my stylus straight from the jar into the Ceramica paint and just doodled in various complementary colours. So that's how I've done those. Then this was the butterfly that I did with the Bindi paints, and again I've gone round the edge of this one with the black Posca paint pen, and then I've gone in with the deep blue Marabou Ceramica paint, just adding some of the dots, and it just adds a sort of like, they're slightly raised and they're really shiny because these are quite transparent. But again, I'm really pleased with those. Really pretty. They've come out completely different to the other ones. I love these. I think these are just really, really sweet. I'm being careful because they're not quite dry. So I've doodled around the edge with the black Posca paint pen, gone in with the white Posca paint pen, added loads of dots, and then added complementary green dots with the ceramic pen using my stylus. So that's how I did those. And what I like about these, I just like the difference that you get by using the different types of paint. I love the subdued effect of the other ones. They're sort of much more pastel colours, prettier. I like the vibrancy of these. This one here, I've gone round with a white Posca paint pen, and then I doodled with a metallic purple Posca paint pen, adding dots around the edge. And then I've layered the Marabou paint here. I've used the magenta type colour to add dots, you can see there. And then I've gone on top of the magenta using the dark blue with the other slightly smaller end of my stylus and dropped it on top. And so I don't know whether you can pick that up here, but that's really pretty as well. So that's how I did those. Then next I'm going to start the ones that I did with the Stuart Gill metallic fabric paints. These are really highly textured. Just because it's sort of left texture where it's been folded in half and then pulled. So I'm going to stop the camera, tidy this away, and then we'll start doodling on these. Right, so here's the Stuart Gill butterflies. So I'm going to put this on to fast forward now and get set to doodling these. This is how my butterflies are looking now. So I've gone round the edge with my black and white Posca pens on all of these. I had to do some patching up on this one here because I've smudged the black paint. So I just took a little bit of the Stuart Gill in the yellow and the blue and just blobbed over and made it look fairly symmetrical. So that repaired that so that it didn't have to be scrapped. And so now what I want to do is just make some in fact I'll do it now. Let's have a look so that you can see what I do. I'm going to sort of try and if I thicken up this line slightly, then I can add a little bit of doodling with my white pen. Sometimes you see me going slightly off camera and it's just I'm just recharging my Posca pen just by tapping it down on my table just to release a bit more ink. So I'm going to give that a quick dry now. And then I shall grab the white Posca pen, so just make sure that's working. And then I shall just add some more doodle dots. I apologise if my head gets in the way in some of the shots. It's just difficult for me to see without getting up close. There we go. So I'm going to do the same on the rest of them and then I'll come back. Right then, my black and white Posca pen doodling is all finished now. So that's looking really pretty. And I've just grabbed 4 colours of the Pebeo Prisma paints. I've grabbed the turquoise, sort of like a buttercup yellow, old gold, which has got sort of bits of black in it, really pretty. And then the moonstone, which is sort of like a black grey. And I've got my styluses in a couple of different sizes here. and I'm just going to start adding some doodled dots. So let's start off with this one. I'm going to use the yellow for this one, and I'm just going to dip my stylus in and just add there we go. Just grab my tissue at the ready, and then I'm going to layer in, I think I'll have some of the turquoise, and I'm just going to dip that straight on top of the gold. And when it dries, it just leaves the most gorgeous sort of like bead effect, Italian bead effect. It's just so pretty, it's just gorgeous. And then down here where we've got the gold, I'm going to do the reverse. Bring the gold back. There we are. And then I'm going to leave that to one side and try and keep it as flat as possible. You can see that that's trying to slide off, but there we go. It's pretty anyway. So there we are, there's my finished butterflies. I'm really pleased with them. They've turned out very, very pretty. I just absolutely love the effect of those Pebeo paints where it's sort of honeycombs. It's just beautiful. Some of them have dried a little bit uneven. In fact, these are still wet, or drying a bit uneven, but I mean, that doesn't matter. Absolutely love that. What can we make with one of these butterflies? I decided to use the piece of paper that you've seen me mop the cocktail sticks up with. So this is the piece of music paper that you have seen me just scrape the Pebeos off on, and I've just trimmed it really, really neatly and then mounted it on a piece of black cardstock. I've done more doodling around the edge of the black cardstock with my white Posca paint pen, just adding dots around the edge, and then I've edged it with the white Posca as well. I've chosen the red butterfly that I tried them all, and that was just the one that seemed to sort of look most striking against this particular background. And then, would you believe it, of all the coloured wires that I have, and I have a fair few, I don't possess any black, so this is the nearest I've got. It's sort of like a gunmetal grey purple colour. So I've cut a piece of the wire, and I'm just going to grab my round nose pliers, and I'm just going to make some spirals on the end. I'm just going to keep twisting the wire round like so. And just keep going with it. In fact, we'll see how that is for length, and I'll do the same on the other side. And then this is what I'm left with. So I've got my glue gun to the ready here, and I'm just going to glue this onto the back. So I just want to see where I want to position that. Right, okay, so that will be about right. So I just need to add some glue just here. Add a blob of that, and then just place my antenna in. Yeah, let's get rid of some of those strings in a minute. Let me just be careful because this is really hot. So I'm just going to press that down with my stylus. I'm going to add a bit more glue on the top just to make sure that it's secured properly. There we are. Press that down again, my stylus, and then I want to wipe that off straight away so that I don't ruin that. And I want to get rid of a couple of these stringy bits. There we go. And I've got some stringy bits on the front here as well. They're really easy to pull off. There we go. That's got rid of that. There's another one just there as well. Oh, they're a pain more than anything. There we go. And then let's just, and then I think I want my butterfly positioned like so. I can fiddle around with these again if I want to. So I'm just going to add some more glue to the back just here. And then position be careful, because even though it's on the other side, it still really is quite hot. And there we have it. There's my finished butterfly card, which I think is really pretty. So there you go. Hope you liked that, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care for now.